Live streamed right now. Here we go.
Okay.
On
Hi.
YouTube.
We're on YouTube?
Yep.
Mm.
We're recorded and we're live on YouTube. So, welcome to the Mental Mechanics. I have Janae, who's been traveling all over the place.
Oh, why is it?
Oh, there's a
is it
delay.
echo-
Gotta close it down. You'll see.
So it's not live. There's a little delay.
There's a delay.
All right.
So we are live, but there is a delay. So it is traveling. So what do we do here, Janae, is we talk about what we talk about, right?
Weird shit.
Weird shit. This is our way of
Right.
being ourselves. And, we do care what other people sometimes think, but not most of the time. So where are you located right now?
I'm at my house in French Settlement.
Your house. So explain to people this house.
Oh, dude, you want the long story or the short story?
Short story.
All right. So once upon a time, I was looking for a house or some land so I could move down here with some chickens, and randomly saw a for sale sign over here and pulled in, trespassed, wrote a letter to the owners. They accepted my offer, sight unseen. Then I came out here and they showed me the rest of the property. And over the past almost 5 years, I've been falling in love with the history of it.
So how big is this property?
8 acres.
8 acres.
Yeah. I'm not going to show you the house. That one's a secret, but I'll show you the rest of the.
So she's been, now how many square feet was this house when you first purchased it?
2,600.
Was it livable?
If I wanted to rough it, yeah. Look at that.
So there's these huge oak trees all over it, right?
Yeah.
And there's also backs up to a swamp or a river.
Yeah, I'll take you on the whole tour. We
Okay,
have
cool.
some. We have
Now the
some
reason I bring all this up,
stuff.
if y'all want to get really interested in this property, you can see it in some photographs that were in which magazine?
Vogue.
There, did y'all hear that? Vogue magazine. Why was Janae's property in Vogue magazine? Well, someone else thought it was a cool piece of property and asked her if they could do a photo shoot there. Not only did they do the photo shoot, but you got to be a part of it, which I think we may have mentioned this in an earlier episode.
Yeah. Hey, look. Wait. Let me pause you. This tree is like 400 years old.
Right. So the tree's seen a lot, man.
Yeah.
Now, this property also had a general store on it. Is that correct?
So it had an ice factory over there, and back here was a sawmill and a general merchandise store. And then back up in front of the trees, closer to the road that you saw earlier, that's where they had like their second store, like a little trading post. And for all them, it was the merchant for the town and the postmaster for the town.
For the entire town. So this was like a lot of traffic has gone through this property. A lot of people know about this property. How long did it sit vacant until you purchased it?
I think 15 years it was used as like a family vacation home, and like Boy Scouts would come and camp out, and like we light fires. But yeah, like 15 years. So the people who built it, they lived here until they died, and then their youngest daughter inherited it. And right before the end of her life, she sold it to one of her nephews, and then she went to go live in a nursing home. And
y'all ready to see this crazy stuff? This is a true swamp, like straight up alligators and all kinds of crap around it in Louisiana.
And so anyway, the youngest daughter lived here until 1968 or 69. And then she sold it to her nephews. And then her nephew's still alive. I think he's 96 or 97 now. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of racky. This is old. And his sons are the one that sold me the property. So it stayed in the family for a long, long time.
So this property also has some history that Janae discovered in the attic with written books and letters and all kinds of stuff. So we come across things in our lives randomly, right? No, nothing's random.
Hey,
People,
look, let me point something. Let me ask you. Doesn't it look like it's raining?
yeah, what is it?
I don't know. Can't figure it out. It's not raining, but it sounds like it's raining. I think it's all little tadpoles,
Everything falling in the
but
probably. I
nothing's
mean,
falling.
no, it's probably tadpoles. But again, you're in the swamp. So, were there any indigenous people to the area back in the day too that use that property?
Yes. Okay. So without showing you the house, this the whole property here, I'll do it like that. The whole property is kind of like up on a hill. And
Mhm.
so Native Americans came and realized that and set up a village. And when we were doing some digging for some foundation work, we found like Indian heads and these things called baked clay objects that like are Native American. Like they use them like ovens, they bury them and then bury their
Mhm.
food and bake it. It's pretty cool.
So, have you ever taken a metal detector around your property yet?
I had a friend and I come out here one day and just do like some simple shit, but we found like pull can tabs. So
Uh-huh.
that's it.
But
Yeah.
there's all kinds of treasures hidden on that you haven't even tapped into yet, I
Oh
believe.
yeah. Oh, I went and picked up so I'm all out of breath. I went and carried the big container I have of all the glass bottles we find when the water's low, like it is now.
Uh-huh.
And like these glass bottles just wash up from the river, and like we have tires that wash up. And
Random
so
shit.
me and the kids will go and collect them. Like there's a beer bottle, that's a newer one, but
So here's the thing that I want people to understand about you tapping into this. What when you go out to this property does it do for you?
I mean, it kind of just tells me who I am.
Is it a place you can get away to and chill out?
Oh yeah, if I ever run away, I come here.
You run away. I don't think you're running away. I think you're running to something, never away
Oh
from
yeah,
something.
most definitely. The alignment of all the trees, like that really old one, and then the 8 trees up front, they kind of like, if you look at it from an overhead map, it's kind of like a circuit. And so you can circle back around and go a different direction and circle back around and go this way. And it's kind of just like a circuit. All right, hold on.
Interesting. So
And we can go 2 ways. Like I always come over here to the river. And way back when, the sawmill was on the other side of that tree I just crawled under. But
uh
then all the sawdust is kind of what um, created this like high ground towards the river.
really
So it's like it's the river and then some high ground and then my swamp and then like the hill the house is on. And okay, hold on. Look at this tree. This tree is older than the Louisiana purchase.
really.
And it's a cypress tree. So it's technically considered a virgin cypress.
But look at all the other homes that are nice, like they're built up nice homes across the river from you. So you have river access. Like this is what happens when we have a dream or idea and things start to happen. And you have the ability to create anything on this property, correct?
Yes. Well, I
So
don't think I retained the mineral rights. I think that stayed with the family. So I can't go like digging for oil or gold or anything like that. But
you could, you just wouldn't tell anyone about it.
well, I would not do that. It's not the right
Right.
thing to do. Anyway, back here, there's like deer trails. The deer will still come up this way.
So what's your big vision of this property? How do you want it to look and feel and when you're finally said and done with it?
Well, okay, there's the dock too. Um, I've always kind of known what it looks like and how it makes me feel, but being able to put that into words has always been difficult. And so I've kind of relied on my friends that I make along the way. And earlier you were talking about let me get in the shade and I'll turn the camera back around.
Sure.
But earlier we were talking about Vogue coming out here, and the photographer was Peter Lindbergh, and he was German or French. I can't freaking remember. I'm horrible at this. He was foreign. And so he had a little bit of an accent that was kind of like hard to follow along. But I'm really good at like translating broken English.
Uh-huh.
And so I understood him. And we stood like right back there where the bank of the river was. And he was like, um, hold on. So we're right back over there. And he was like, this would be a great place for a dinner party. Invite all your friends, and only the pussies will complain about the mosquitoes. So one day I foresee a dinner party and like a dock and, you know, just like a walking trail, a raised walking trail with like grass growing out here. A place for people to come and gather.
And I mean, how many people are living in cities and major things for convenience, but can't really escape to their own piece of property? And again, this is not going to be your only piece of property, I assume. And you have
No,
visions.
but I think this will always be like home base for me once it's
Right.
finished.
So home base is perfect. So
Yeah.
because of this, how do you keep inspired and motivated to do things? Like, is this the type of thing that gets you going to keep or get back on track to the vision you have of your life for you and your family?
Sometimes, but just when I come by myself.
Right.
If I bring
So
somebody else
serves all
out here,
kinds of
they want
purposes.
to tell me what their ideas and their plans and their visions are. And like, I just don't gel very well with that.
So it's interesting how it can serve many different purposes for you.
Yeah.
And
You know, a lot of people go to church, and I just come sit out here under the tree.
And again, church is church. Wherever you find your connection to a higher power is where you find a connection to a higher power. And the thing about why I created Mental Mechanics and wanted you to help co-host this is watching you go through your journey, me go through my journey, and just sharing with people about how you just let go and reconnect to yourself, and at the same time create visions to help other people in the same way. Like with your business you're starting up, or your office you have, however you want to call it.
Yeah.
You have employees already, right?
One so far.
Right, so far. And then you've got all this cool stuff going on. And since you've been in Louisiana, you've been through ice storms, hurricanes, all kinds of interesting things. And those 400-year-old or older trees are still standing, and wonder what they've been through over 400 or 500 years of weather changes and things happening. And that's the interesting thing about life, is when we're said and gone, trees will still be there, the property will still be there. And what is the new things that they're going to see, and how long will that area be the way it is, and how is that going to change over hundreds, maybe thousands of years? And we're not going to know. I mean, maybe we will, but it's.
So have you ever seen cancer on a tree?
Yeah.
Like a wound, and they call it like burl wood.
Right.
And so it's a wound that eventually heals over.
And it makes the coolest stuff when you turn it.
Yeah. But there's two burls right here that are like at least 2 feet wide. And so that's old for a burl. The tree's still doing good.
Yeah, it's interesting how the natural way things heal themselves.
Yeah.
And what comes from it. And, you know, you get to go around and probably, oh, I'm going to see your house. I want to see it. You get to see like all different aspects probably every time you go onto that piece of property and take it in. And that's the thing about life in general. It's like, what are the things that are stimulating your brain? What are the things that are relaxing your brain? Why do we have certain thoughts the way we do? And then how does our physical being play into the way in which we think? And what are the things that we can do to our self to change our hormones, to make better who we are, to get ways in which to allow our brain or mind work at a bigger and deeper capacity? And spoke to a gentleman before you and I got on earlier, and his brother has cancer, and he's got some medical issues. And, you know, I've reached out to this guy 4 years ago and thought he was going to work with me, and he didn't. And there's a reason I keep reaching out to him. And now he, you know, has invited me, as I gave my skill set services to his brother to help him with his cancer through hypnosis. He's like, yeah, that's great. And he told me a little bit about himself. And I said, hey, let me send you a bunch of stuff I know that's going to help you with those things. It's like, oh, that's awesome, man. I really appreciate it. if I would have never kept reaching out and just blew this guy off, I wouldn't be able to help him now. And you never know why relationships occur and when they're going to actually come to fruition. Why do I keep reaching out to people? Why do I keep wanting to tap into them? I don't know. I just get a feeling like you and I have been through some interesting things with our
Like
friendship.
ESP. Yeah.
But they happen for certain reasons. And your reasons are your reasons and my reasons are my reasons. But without it, we wouldn't be having this conversation, right? You're frozen.
Right.
That's an interesting picture of you. It's like you're doing a chicken dance.
Is it still frozen?
No, it's not. I mean, it's choppy, but you can hear your vocals easily. So what thing do you think you can...
Do I need to move?
Well, the picture's frozen, but the vocals are fine. It just happens that way when you're in the middle of nowhere.
Incidentally.
Still there. When you were where your
Yeah,
car was, you had your best reception.
Yeah, that's why I park it there.
So
Long ass walk.
it's good for you. You need it. Ha ha ha. So what's your big thing that you want to share with people about what you're doing, like having a dream, starting to create a dream and making it happen? Like, here's what people want to know. And this is what I want you to tell them. You've been working on this house for over 4 years. How many contractors have you had come out to that house?
At least 15.
15 guys. This is before COVID. This is before the real estate boom where there was limited supply on things. Why do you think it took 15?
I mean, can we get weird?
Yeah, let's get weird.
Because there's a spirit that stays here.
Okay, who's the spirit?
It's the first woman of the house, the first lady of the house.
Y'all into this stuff. There's been not just your thought process, there's been signs about that. So what does she do? She get rid of people who aren't really connected to it and want to just make money off of you?
Yeah.
So the last one that you picked, how's that worked out?
He got upset when I told him he did one thing wrong and he didn't want to make it right. And so he's just not going to do it.
What was the one thing wrong he did?
Some dimensions that I had on the addition that we're doing.
So you gave him the right dimensions, he didn't follow the directions, and he got upset. Why would someone get upset when they make a mistake?
Because it makes them feel like they're wrong.
But again, they are, and they knew they were when you showed them what you gave them, instead of saying, hey, sorry, let me work on it. Why would someone have an attitude and not want to make it better?
I don't know.
How many times have you been wrong and not wanted to make it better?
Probably a whole lot.
What does it do for you?
It makes me realize I need to deep clean under that rug that I've been shoving shit under.
Because it doesn't serve us in any way knowing we're wrong and someone else knowing you're wrong and not admitting it. When you say, hey, you know what? You're correct. I made a mistake. I want to fix it. You just release all this other energy, because if we hold on to, oh, it wasn't my fault, and we make all these excuses, we're fear-based living. And then again, it shows up in everything else we're doing in our lives.
Right.
So what have you changed majorly on the way in which you're thinking to make things start working for you better?
I'm just taking action now. That's it. Instead of just thinking about doing all these things, I'm actually doing all these things.
So this is what this website, they mean podcast, YouTube channel is all about, is taking action, doing the right thing, and being supported doing it. Because that's the only way things get done, right?
Right.
Like the guy across the street from me said he was going to move in August, and I just asked him, he goes, 60 more days. And I go, what happened? He goes, I got a guy to come in to paint, and he put down the base layer, got everything ready. Then I asked him, hey, we got the appliances in and we got the cabinets up, so we're ready you to do the final coats. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm 3 months behind. It's like, what? I already paid you. Guy's like, sorry. He's like, wait a minute. You just started the job. Everything I said would take place took place, but you can't finish it. He goes, I got to fire you. Because there are a lot of people in this world right now who aren't following through with something they started with. And they start making excuses on why they're not following it through. Maybe they're allowing the big, money picture to grab their attention because the job's bigger. But when you follow through with something from start to finish, and it's aligned with your goals and your purpose, you get much more out of it. And you got to enjoy that process of doing these things, because without enjoying it, what's the point of doing it? Like you're making choices in your life right now that you're going to follow through with. And what are those choices going to do for you when you follow through with them? What are opportunities?
It's just, my granddaddy used to say, it's just another step for a stepper.
And what does it do to open up with other kind of opportunities when you make those steps?
Well, there's higher opportunities. Climb
Right.
up.
So what's the biggest higher opportunity that you're looking forward to attaining?
Well, it just depends on how weird we're going to get.
No, we can get weird. It's not weird we're going to get. It's like I'm asking questions. There's no wrong answers.
Finally remembering that I know how to do all of the shit. So like proving to myself that I can do what I currently want.
Yeah, but you've already proven that to yourself before. Why do you have to do it again?
Because I'm bored.
What else happened to you?
I had 2 kids.
Did you lose yourself by trying to take care of everyone else?
Yeah.
And we do get caught up in that, where we put everyone else first. And what I want to explain to people, why I bring that up, it's not to put you under pressure. It's without taking care of ourselves, we can't take care of other people better, because we're not focused on us. And if people think that's selfish, then let them think it's selfish. But without you, there is none of this happening. And to really get in a deeper area is to make it happen, we have to make some choices. They're not right or wrong choices. They're just choices, but we always can change our mind, which is the nice part about choices.
Yeah.
And are those choices benefiting us first and then others second? So the choices you're about to make in your life, whatever they may be, have you thought about putting yourself first before everyone else?
I'm working on that. It's hard. It's new.
Right. Well, it's new and different, and it's worked before. But the circumstances were yourself first because you needed to. Now it's choosing to, not having to.
Right. That's hard.
Well, it can be. It's not hard. It's simple. It's just not easy. It's just a choice. And there's emotions involved, and that's why we think it's hard. But if we just were to map out, if I do A to get to Z, I've got all these other steps in between, I'll get there. But what gets in the way of all that? Emotions. That's it. Fear, happiness, complacency, sadness, joy. They're all going to be filtered in through all this. We have a choice on what we want to look at first. Right?
Right.
So that's what we need to look at. What's going to make it the best for us, which then can make it the best for everyone else. So what's your words of wisdom we can wrap up with?
Oh, shit. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
No. Words of wisdom.
Sure.
I'm really trying to learn how to give certain fucks while maintaining giving zero.
Okay. And so when we start getting really deep into this podcast type thing, I'll have a studio set up. You'll have a studio set up. We'll have guests going. But we want to see and show people how organic and how this starts. And that's why we're doing it. Like, You're like, oh, we doing it? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be in my car. Okay. This is where it all starts from. Like people get to see the groundwork of something amazing to happen. What do you think this is going to look like? Your life, my life in a year from now? What are you hoping for?
Doing at least half of it right.
Oh, you'll be doing more than half of it right.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying if that's what I'm aiming for, then I'm easily gonna like,
Hey, we're doing better than baseball. Baseball, you're killing it at, what, a 345 batting average? In the real world, that sucks. But in baseball terms, they're doing amazing. So we get to show you guys like how we talk things out because this is organic conversations. We don't plan this stuff. It just comes up. But get ready because I've got some challenges coming up that I'm going to ask you to be involved in. Because why not? You can just see how you work with all these other people.
right.
And it's just interesting watching you grow because I know what you're capable of doing. I cannot force you to do anything. I cannot make you do anything. I can suggest things. You are in charge of your entire life, your thought process, the way you want it to unfold. I'm just here to show you how your mind can create any dream you wish you want, how to do it in the best possible way for you. Cool. Well, thanks guys for being here and watching everything we're doing, and we will talk to you all later. Let me go and stop this on YouTube. Where is it? Hold on. Let me get back here.